Here we go. It is time for another sprint zone. This one's for 5:28. Special thanks to Scott for providing this, as I've had some camera trouble in the last couple of episodes, but at least we have something here. Special thanks also to Dr. John Kraft, who has also given his telemetry and extra data, and we will get to the party. So there's like lethargy here. Everyone's just kind of sitting in after a monster pull by Dawn and somebody else up County Road 5, to the point where I was thinking, oh man, like we're going hard already. But you know, it is what it is, and I didn't feel like going up there and slowing that down because no one seemed like they were complaining. But anyhow, it looks like now everybody's recovering. Looks like we got Mike up at the front. Maybe Don is still there, but Don is kind of like going slow. And maybe he thinks this is like the Friday ride and has forgotten that is in fact the sprint zone. But like la-dee-da, la-dee-da, and we're not doing anything. Here comes yours truly moving up towards the front because in case things do get a little spicy, I need to be there. So we got myself, we got Jonathan Day of the Rio ride, which I believe he's just instantiated the Rio recovery rides on Monday, 6 o'clock. So definitely want to go ride with him if you want a nice ride on a Monday. But back to our party. So Don's kind of just sitting up. Was going hard during the easy stuff and easy during the hard stuff. And I'm okay with this because I just did the boulder the day before without actually training for it, or at least I'd never ran like 6K before, at least not in a year or so. And my legs are sore, but I figure I want to be here anyhow. And so I'm not going to go up there and animate any of this. And maybe it's good for some of those who don't really see the front that often to be there. We got Isla sitting in quite nicely. We got John sitting up there, both Johns. And it looks like Elisa also there. You know, and it's like la-di-da. Looking at my 30-second power, it's like, what, like 100 and some watts, 140, 130. Coasting down, and no one wants to take up the mantle here. And that's okay. I'm good with that because, like I said before, my legs are tired. So it looks like it's Greg up at the front doing something, Elisa doing something at the front. Things are starting to move a little bit, but let's look at our speed. Oh, 20 miles an hour. Yeah, this is not your typical sprint zone. And Isla up in the up position there on the second row, and this is rare. It is rare that I get to call her name on that beautiful new bike sporting the Di2, and the next crew pulls off. And now we go. So now we got Isla at the front, and she's kind of just waiting there for people to go around. Not much elbow or anything, but like I said before, I'm okay with this. My legs are sore, and I'm going to just ride this puppy. I'm going to ride this until I can't hang on any longer. So John goes to the front, keeping people honest. And now it looks like my 30-second power is up to 240. Oh, 30 seconds, almost 300s in there for a little bit. And life is good. Oh, I wonder if I have the wrong data for my 30-second power. I probably do, because it's moving too quickly. Hate when it does that. Anyway, not going to respin this one, and it's time to go. And looking at the power put out by Scott and Dr. Kraft in the 130s or whatever, and it's go time. Looks like Scott is at the front now, and now he's keeping people honest. And this is good. I mean, it's not all that good for the viewers because you don't get to see anything, but you know, it's a dry road. We got Jonathan up at the front making his debut and looking pretty smooth there. Nice cadence as keeping everybody honest. Not certain what's going on. Oh, Curtis comes up, and things are starting to hot up a little bit, but I think what we have here is there was fear of construction. The several weeks prior, there were, you know, construction people, and we had to stop. And I suspect people did not want to waste any energy because why go hard when we're going to just have to stop? We see Steve gives the signal with his hand with the closed fist up there. Interesting signal. I think we know what it means. Must be like a military thing, like hold or whatever. Because the typical cycling thing is like the hand down and to the right or left. And we got Ilka up there on the gravel bike. Yep, and that thing is a pig, and testament to her strength of being up there. JC up in front looking good, looking good. And, you know, there was talk about the obstacles being gone from the course. They're actually not gone. We went around them because the people on the construction are actually like working on them. So that's for you, Ilka. They're actually still there because the people were actually working on there, and we didn't see them because, well, we got redirected. Finally, we're still going a little bit, and still lethargy. Lethargy. Looking at Scott and Dr. Kraft's 30-watt power. I mean, when that's under 200, you know nothing is going on here, and everybody's comfortable. But I'm not going to complain because my legs are tired, because I ran the day before. Just happy to be here. Kind of bummed that I, you know, didn't charge the battery on my camera until I only got like 20 minutes. And for some reason that camera drains really quickly. I didn't think it would, but apparently it does. But let's talk about the ride. So it looks like Curtis up front, and this is a nice little echelon here. Subtle, no one hogging up too much of the space here. People cognizant and giving others a little bit of room. Ilka on the gravel bike kind of moving around. Scott getting a little bit of better position here because he does not want to be caught in arrears here. Because this is one of those spots where people go hard. So I'm going hard here. Instantaneous, like 400 watts or whatever. Time for me to take over, do a little something. My legs are sore, but you know I don't want to be caught back and be too much of a slacker here. But that's okay, and that is short-lived because the man, JC, Dr. JC, is up front, and he is throwing down here. And I'm going to digress for just a second as we pause the video. So had a little chat with Dr. John about his like critical power and all that. And so what we have here is Dr. John's critical power. And look at the numbers he is capable of producing. Look at that, 1 minute power over 600 watts easily. We won't talk about this too much, but this is one of the reasons I don't race, because there's people like out there like this that I can't hold a candle to. And let's get back to our regularly scheduled program. So, Dr. John at front, nice aero position, and Scott, of course, is next. So, you know, Dr. John, 370 watts for 30 seconds, and you can see how much wattage Scott is saving. Almost 100 watts just sitting in the twos. And if anyone doubts that the man up front is doing anything, 100 watts, you are saving so much. And JC's not asking for any help here. There is no wiggle of the elbow. He is just a ramming and a thumping. And the rest of us are just holding on back there. And this is where I would like to have a 360 camera, but I digress because I didn't have my battery. But hopefully for the upcoming week, I will have that charged and ready. Just going and going and going and going and going, and it's just like amazing. And I kind of wish the GoPro would have more than 30 seconds to display, because that would be more interesting. The 1 minute, the 5 minute power. And let us remind you, this is what we're looking at here. The man, the myth, the legend out front. And everyone is pleased to be sitting in. And looking at his power here, like 200 and some watts, he's just keeping it nice and steady. He's not trying to drop anybody. Nice and steady, nice and steady. But look at Scott resting at 160 watts. And looking at the heart rate, like, you can see that John is so much more fit. But now it looks like a game on. We got Byron going to the front. And then we got John Lawyer with the balls just swinging there. In a different kit. For a while, I did not recognize that. And here we go. So now JC sitting in. 400 watts. So you know, you got Byron up there. He must be drilling it if Dr. Kraft is putting out 30-second power of 400 watts. Yeah. You knew he was just holding back up there, keeping everybody honest, waiting for the attack. And I'm just hanging on barely. I know I'm dying after a while, but who cares? You can't see me, doesn't matter. But Scott's hanging in nice. Finally putting out like 240 watts. And so you can see second and third JC got a little more power, 280, but they're so similar as the draft is good. And the speed is good too, 26 miles an hour up this hill. Life is good here as John Lawyer pops off, no doubt to lack of training, running those restaurants or whatever. Byron gives the flick after working hard, and it's only the supers are able to follow that, because that is the kind of move that would spend most people. And Scott out front after resting for such a long time, instantaneous power, over 500, 30-second power, over 400 as I'm starting to JC is sitting in, and Scott is pushing hard, well timed here as his heart rate goes up. Interesting how similar our heart rates are, but my power isn't anywhere near what the other two gentlemen are putting out at this time. Scott pushing hard and no one is going around. Who will have the ability to go around at this point? Because Scott's been out here for a long time, and I know that there are supers, there are folks back here that are capable of going around. And here we go. That looks like Don up there. Yep, pretty much sat in the whole time, easily takes this one. Not much challenge there. I would almost say there was no honor in that because it was not doing much work, but it was like well played. And he did a ton of work up County Road 5. And this is what a champion crit racer can do to folks that don't. Anyway, looks like well done Don, well done Scott, and a good time was had by all. Until next time, peace out. There goes Byron looking strong there. That was good. Yeah, I definitely missed the 360 camera. The GoPro is nice. I like the GoPro because it's better than, what I was able to present this week. But not being able to look back and see those that you are hurting, to see the suffering, and to see when folks get dispatched. That is what I live for. Good times. And making people suffer. Yeah. Except for myself. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, peace out.